pete'stools.com.
G'day guys, Pete's Tools, and Pete's a bit annoyed today. I went to grab the welder. I had to fix one of my dumpster bins. So I shot out this morning just before I went to work. I thought I have to fix this bin. So I grabbed the old welding torch and I snapped the contact tip holder off. Man, did that annoy me. Anyway, I thought, well, I'm fixing it, why not show you guys what's inside a welding torch. Anyway guys, if you like my videos, always remember to subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment. Come say good day at pete'stools.com and let's fix this torch, eh? So anyway guys, like I said, I snapped the contact tip holder off. As you can see here, it's snapped off like that, which is a right pain in the bum. I tried for about half an hour to get it out of the torch end, but I can't. So what I'm going to do is just change the swan neck. I keep a few of these parts on hand, just in case I run over it, because I tend to do that. I'm a clumsy old sod. I tend to run over things and all the rest of it. So I actually never knew that you could just replace the torch head. I thought you had to replace the whole lead, but you don't. I found out a few years ago that you can just buy like torch heads like this and just put a new torch head on if you want, or you can actually even just buy the swan neck like this. See, I buy swan necks at a time. I'll put some links down below if you want to buy some of these parts. Like I say, I never even realised that you could get them, but they're as cheap as chips, and it just saves you paying $100 or $90 for a whole new torch and lead. That's my theory anyway. So what I'm going to do is just change the swan neck over on this, and I'll show you fellas how easy it is to do, eh? So all these MiG torches are about the same, guys. Just depends what style it is. This one's got two screws up here, one there, one there. Well, it's actually only got two screws, one each side, and then it's got the little thing here that you undo, whereas this one's got 3 screws and it's got the little ball down the bottom that you undo. Quite basic really. So just undo your screws. In fact, fix your drill a bit properly first, Pete. Make sure you don't lose your screws like I normally do and spend half the day on the workshop floor crawling through all the bits of metal and everything else trying to find your screws. Well, maybe it's just me, guys. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what it is. Anyway, and then if you've got the ball end like this, just flip it off with a screwdriver. Some of them unscrew, some of them flip off. So this one here just flips off. So you stick a screwdriver in here and just flip them off, just like so. It just holds the ball joint at the back. Just take them off like that, see? And then the ball joint here will come out. It says a little plastic ball joint, so when you move your torch it just screws down like that. And then we'll just take that off like so. And here we have our swan neck coming up here. It's just a simple off-on switch like this, guys. Off-on switch is pretty basic. It's basically like the inside of a plasma cutter torch, but it's just a welding torch, you know. Some people think these are really quite complicated, but they're really, really easy. And your swan neck here screws into your main power lead here. See around the outside, guys, you've got your power braid lead, and up the guts of it goes your MiG torch liner. So it's pretty basically really. And your power goes up here onto the inside of your swan neck here, and then you screw your holder, your tip holder on here, and therefore you get your power coming out of here. So you find with these torches, they're mostly all the same. The swan necks are about the same. The only difference you might find is just where it fits in this rubber grommet thing here. See, this rubber grommet on my new one's got a little bit of a sort of a tip thing on it here, if you notice that, whereas this one here is more rounded. I'll take it out and I'll show you. Just pull it up and pull it out of the plastic cover and then undo it. This is quite loose. Now you'll feel a bit of resistance in here because you've got your liner pushing against it, so I'll show you in a sec. So we pull that out and then pull it out like that, and see here's your gun liner coming up the guts here. I don't even take it out from the other end when I'm doing this, I just leave the liner in there. And here we have our swan neck here. As you can see, I've got the tip holder jammed in there, which I can't get out, and I'm not going to piss around for half a day trying to get it out. So what I'll do is just replace it with the swan neck here. Now if you notice, guys, the difference in these swan nets is this is my old one, and this has got a rounded piece on the bottom of that rubber grommet. This is the new one, like I said before, and it's got a bit of a tit. It's just with a different shape of the plastic guns. So, but you'll find that the swan neck itself on this angle here is the same on the inside. So all I do is just take the old rubber grommet off and put it onto the new swan neck, if you follow what I mean. So if we take our old rubber grommet off like so and put them over here, here's our old one, and here's our new one here. So we'll take the new one off like that, and then we want to put the old rubber grommet onto the new swan neck. And just before we do that, guys, just make sure where we're locating it in our torch body, like so, and make sure that the fitting goes in the right way around, because sometimes I've done it and I've put the whole lot together and then I've got the swan neck around that way, and half the torch is facing one way and half the torch is facing the other, but I'm a bit of an idiot like that, so just don't do that. So just make sure we're facing down with the torch, and then put the old rubber grommet onto your new swan neck, like so. Just push him in there like that. Make sure he fits. Make sure we're heading down the right direction. See, we're heading the right way, which is all good. Right, now after you've made sure you're going the right direction, guys, just grab the new swan neck, feed your torch liner up through the swan neck, like so. As you can see, guys, this torch liner here is a little bit long for the swan neck. The swan neck must be slightly shorter. So what I'll do is, just before I screw it up, take it off and just clip a little bit off it. But sometimes it might be the same length, sometimes it might be a bit shorter, you know. So if I just clip a little bit off it, just like so, make sure you haven't crushed the end of it. Grab your new swan neck, put them in like so, feed them up, and then it's just got a thread on it. Just screw them up until you can see it coming out here, guys. So what we'll do there is just back it off a little bit. When you're putting a new swan neck on, guys, look down the guts of it here and make sure that the torch liner is just below the thread of your contact tip holder. So if we put our contact tip holder in like that, we should be able to feel it butt up against the liner in the torch. We can tighten it up. You can feel it butt up there, like so. So once you feel it butt up, you don't want it tight, you just want to just feel it butt up. And then do up your retaining nut here to lock it into position so it doesn't move when you've got your welding wire going up through it. Like so. You can just tweak them up, just with a spanner, guys, just a little bit. You don't have to hang on it, just tweak them up. Then take your contact tip holder out again. Look down the barrel of it, and if you can see that in there, guys, can you see that in there? Can you see the liner? You can just see it below the threads. That's exactly the right place that we want it. Place the whole kit and caboodle back into your torch like so. See, and it fits in there nice because we're using the original rubber grommet. Now we've got our off-on switch here. Make sure with your off-on switch, through these two wires, there's a hole in this rubber grommet here. So make sure you feed the wires through the hole so that they don't get pinched when you screw up the case again. Otherwise your torch won't go. So if I take that out and just show you guys. See this hole here I'm talking about? So these wires need to feed through that hole just to keep them right out of the way. So pull them down there, push them down like so, see them nice and tucked out of the way now. Lay them back in there like that. Put your switch in, and this is just a simple off-on switch, guys. It's just pulled out again. It's quite loose, so just adjust it as you go. Just make sure that those wires are in there like I said. Now your switch has got a little locating pin on the top here. You'll see it'll locate there, and if it hasn't got a locating pin, it will have another locating pin on the bottom. So just make sure that it's in the pins. And before you do it up, guys, pull this wire back. And don't do what I just did. I just pulled it off the switch here. Make sure you get back on the switch like that, Pete. Idiot. Right, now it's in the locating pin here. Sitting in there nicely. Like so. See that, guys? It's sitting in there like so. Right, now we've got a bit of a bulge in this wire here. So I just need to pull this one down a little bit further. Just so we don't get them stuck when we put the cover back on. That's looking better. If you look here, guys, you see there's a little bit of a tit on this plastic cover. What you need to do is pull the switch over and stick them behind the tit, like so. Therefore, it doesn't spring out. See, it works like that, and it stops automatically, because if you leave it out, it's going to hang way out here, and we don't want that. Then grab the cover of your torch. Make sure those little pesky wires are in here, guys, like I keep telling you. I'll probably end up jamming it in myself, and I'll electrocute myself or something silly. You need about 30 hands, but you know, you get the hang of it. Put them together like so. Like I said, make sure the tit of the switch is in there so it locks. Before we tighten up the screws, guys, put this ball thing in here, like so, and then grab the end of it and push it up so it holds the back end before we tighten up the front end, if you know what I mean. So it's half on there, which is perfect, the mundo, so that's holding that while I put the screws in the front here. See my new drill that the kids bought me for Christmas? It's pretty cool. I did a review on that. If you want to go and have a look at that, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to have a look at that. So we're all nice and tight there. So then finish up the bottom, clip it up. You hear that go clip? Our ball works. So guys, we'll put the rest of the torch together now and see if it actually works, eh? Yeehaw! So guys, I've got my new contact tip holder here, as you can see. The old one here still got the contact tip jammed in it, but it's half its thread's gone. So what we'll do is just assemble this up, put my diffuser on there. Never forget to put the diffuser on there or it's not going to weld. Put my contact tip holder in here. My new one, of course. Just tweak them up just a fraction. And take the old contact tip out of the broken holder. Put them into a new swan neck like so. Put the shield on. And let's see if it'll weld, guys. Yeehaw! And more to the point, guys, will it actually work? Yeehaw! Anyway guys, that's just what I do instead of spending hours trying to get the bloody thing out of the old torch. Just put a new swan neck on. You know, it saves hours and hours and saves a lot of frustration. Anyway guys, same as usual, if you like my videos, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, come say good day at peachstools.com, and we'll see you next time, mate. Bye bye.
peachtools.com